Hey folks, this is a crepe myrtle cutting that I rooted last year, end of the year, in the summer, and I'm going to put it into a sort of training pot. This is a terracotta pot that I got, or saucer that I got. Put holes in it. Of course, it's got mesh. Um, cut a little groove there so I could let water out, and the rest of it's just me playing around, seeing what I can do as far as distressing to make it look more like a bonsai pot. I think if I had to pick a front, it'd probably be about there. I don't think it looks too bad, and I think this particular plant will look good in it. So let's dive in. Because it might have some very fragile roots, I'm probably going to be using, of course, the Bobcat Bonsai root hook. I'll almost definitely be using my paintbrush. I doubt I'll be using this, but just in case I need to tie in, I'm going to keep those on the side. Then, of course, I'm going to have to cut something that's a little too long because it may not have good radial roots. This is one of three. One of them did die. The other one's very alien compared to this one. This is the healthiest, so I think you can see there's roots that are coming out the top, or sorry, the bottom. So I'm going to start the process. I did just fertilize this. I try to fertilize anything I'm going to be repotting quite heavily before I do the repot. That way it's got lots of built up energy. Yeah, definitely a good idea to get this thing out of its current soil. And I see that it's growing, which is good. But I also see things like this, which may not be so good. So we're going to just see if we can knock off some of this soil. You can see there's no rhyme or reason to these roots yet, which is fine. It was rooted in a pot with three, like I said. So it's not to say that there's any expectations of that. If I want to have a nice radial root base, I need to address it now. I can definitely tell that all these roots are at the bottom, which isn't going to benefit me. And means that this was a healthy plant. To avoid messing with this too long, I'm going to just grab my shears and cut off right here. I can take my paintbrush and just poke off some of this higher stuff. Got a root up here, roots up here, got a root down here. Really, I don't have any other roots that are that low. Let's see, can I even get through this is the question. I need to grab my other pair. Let me grab my big chompers here. I can already see where there's some issues with this particular tree. I'm also apprehensive of cutting all these roots. Eventually, you've got to do it, right? All right. But I guess I can just move this, can't I? It's already done. That. Put this one up. I think that'll look nice. Now, maybe I don't need to cut that bottom off just yet. For now, I'll leave it. As it is, it will fit in there and it will sit below the soil level. Just try to straighten out these funky roots as best I can. Maybe try to pop it down like that. May not work. Here's what I'm gonna do. Shake some soil in here. And I'm gonna go to town on these. I'll cut this one off here. Nice long root, but I don't think it's helping me at all. And it may actually be wider down here at the base, but there aren't many roots except for the one. So we're gonna start there. There's other roots. I think the rest of them are really headed straight. That's too long. Take that off. This one heads up and then down. So we'll take that one off right there. These also seem to just bend down. So we're going to take all those off. This one curls around, so we'll take it off here. Not sure. I don't have any other roots coming off of that, but I'd like to get that one to develop nicely. We're getting there. Really funny root system. I'm going to take off this one up here. It's really not doing anything for me. One was up here, it's gone now. How small those nubs were and where all the rest of the roots are, I don't think that was doing me any favors. So now I can nestle this in here. Hopefully, more than just those roots to take off. In the meantime, at least it'll look a little prettier, right? Most of why we do bonsai is just to make it look a little prettier. Yeah, I hadn't taken that out. When I did, I don't think I'd have much of a tree, nonetheless a bonsai. Those roots weren't the worst. They weren't getting set up to make a tree. They were getting set up to make a bush. And I suppose crepe myrtles can be kind of bushy. Now, a little bit better shape to it. It'll look a little bit better. It's doing its thing. Piece of bark or something sitting on there. That off as well. I understand it doesn't seem very stable. That's pretty understandable considering it just came a very tall pot. That is a cutting that's barely ruined, clearly. What I'll do is I'll dose this with some My Crazy, and I will Mycorrhizae. Sorry, I will give it some rooting compound as well. I don't think there's much I can do with this to make it root. I think I'll just have to count on whatever roots I've got developing at all. I will probably put rocks on the outside to keep it from blowing away. But that's about it. That is all she wrote. It was a really easy one. I'm glad for that because I didn't want to have to deal with too much there. So I'm going to give it, I hope I'm still in the middle here. I'm close enough to the middle. Let's get a little bit of water. All the soil is hydrophobic, so we're just going to go to town on it. We'll see what's right over the top. In just a moment, it'll run out of that groove wherever I put the groove. Oh, right here. So now it's starting to come out the bottom. There we go. That's what we wanted. Let's see if it'll drip along this so I don't have. There we go. Let my water drip off in one point there. Some more water in here, really get it watered in. Yeah, it's gonna come through real fast. So that is the same way as that. You may be able to see the actual flow of water there. Yeah, this will be a real nice, well, maybe bonsai one day. I love the way it's shaped. I love how it's developing. This is kind of a weak branch here, but the rest of it looks pretty good. If I can just get it to continue to develop, it might be something cool. I'm not sure what everybody thinks of this training pot. I think now that there's a tree in it, it looks a lot better. It always looks better with trees in it. Sorry, the pots always look better with trees in them. That's still draining out the bottom, which is nice. Appears that got everything very, very, very wet. That worked out nicely. So plenty of room for water to drain, plenty of room for roots to grow, and hopefully I'll get a little bit less of that funky stuff. Thanks for watching.